okay, this nasty topsoil that I bought, like, it was a year ago exactly, because I got my turtles, and then I needed to put some mulch or soil around the bushes so they could, you know, hide in the dirt or whatever. And so I went and bought some topsoil. Well, I didn't know, well, potting soil is what you should buy. I don't think that stuff is laced with chemicals and gasoline and shit. But this nasty ass topsoil, I don't know if all topsoil is like this. I don't know. I don't even know what topsoil means. I guess it means to put it on top of your garden. Or to maybe patch holes up with it. I don't know. I just figured it meant, like, it means to put it on top of your garden. Well, you don't want this nasty shit on top of your garden. Because this stuff is freaking toxic, man. Yeah, so a year ago, I bought this Timberline topsoil. And of course, you get what you pay for. So that's the first red flag. Because you get what you pay for. But I think it was like, it's pretty damn cheap. Like $2. I guess for either 20 pounds or 40 pounds. I can't remember. I think it's, yeah, probably, I think I bought 2 bags of 20 pounds, actually. But I think they come in 40 pounds. You can get it on the internet for like $1.49 for 40 pounds. But yeah, so this shit was like $2 for like 20 pounds. And it's called topsoil, Timberline, and it comes from Atlanta, Georgia. And it's like laced with petroleum, like gasoline or whatever. It has a strong gasoline petroleum smell. And if you sit there and smell it long enough, you'll get sick. Like I did, because I couldn't believe what I was smelling. So I kept smelling it, and I'm thinking, what the fuck? Am I really smelling this freaking gasoline petroleum smell? And it made me sick. And that was in the evening of like a Tuesday night, like 6 o'clock. That's when I undid the topsoil and put it around the bush. And it made me sick, so I called in sick the next day. But, and then I took it all up the evening of that next day, and I put it in bags, and I gave it to my parents, and I told them not to use it, but I think they did throw it on their garden, but I'm sure, you know, it's not like it was a lot of topsoil. But, man, I put like freaking, and I thought maybe the smell would go away after like a day or whatever, but it didn't. It still smelled toxic as hell. And so when I got it all up and put it in white bags, I put a mask over my face because I don't want to smell that nasty shit. And I did look on the internet a year ago, and I put like Timberline topsoil reviews, and somebody else, I could only find like one person that actually smelled what I smelled, the petroleum gasoline smell. I tried to do a search here a second ago, but I didn't find that same review. But yes, but when people are in a trance, they're not even gonna smell it. They're not even, yeah, they may think gross, you know, this smells nasty, but they're not gonna think, oh, it smells like petroleum, you know, gasoline or whatever. Because I just looked at the reviews on Home Depot, and it was just like ones out of being the worst. 1 is the worst, 5, you know, they liked it. Ones, like everybody hated it. Like everybody hated it. Like 50 reviews and everybody gave it a 1 instead of a 5. But nobody mentioned that it smelled like gasoline or petroleum. Because like I say, when you're in a trance, when you smell chemicals, you just think it's good for you. You know, you're under mind control and you think, oh, you don't even think, oh, it smells like gasoline. Oh, they don't even think about saying that. All they had bad to say about it was, like, this shit had metal in it, it had mulch in it, you know, rocks. Not one person said it smelled like petroleum, gasoline, oil, or whatever. It's all the same shit. And except for that one review that I found, you know, a year ago, somebody else caught up on it. But it comes out of Atlanta, Georgia, and I know when I did a research on it a second ago, it said that it's made from byproducts of blah, 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 blah. Well, whenever you see the word byproduct, that's not exactly a good word. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so anyway, I was going to do a review on this a year ago, and I thought, nah, this is kind of stupid. But, because everything's pretty much laced with chemicals, I could even smell, especially I could smell petroleum really easily. Like they lace, well, they lace everything, but with some kind of chemical. But even when you go to Aldi's and you buy tomatoes, they're not putting just wax on the tomatoes anymore. Some of those tomatoes actually had, it had petroleum on it, you know, to make them shiny, like not gasoline, Vaseline type of stuff. It was that wet and shiny looking. It was not wax. It was, well, wax is made from petroleum, some of it, but this was more like a Vaseline. Yeah, so some of those tomatoes, I'm not going to buy those tomatoes anymore at Aldi's. I'll buy the more expensive kind that doesn't have. But anyway, I actually smelled the tomatoes, and I could smell the petroleum smell. Because they didn't put like a wax on it. They put more of a liquidy kind of Vaseline type of shit on it. So the tomatoes will look beautiful and shiny. And another thing too, you know, I think they could even be lacing, like I never fucking go to Kentucky Fried Chicken. I just think, like I like chicken, and fried chicken, but if I'm going to eat stuff like that, I'm going to make it myself. I definitely wouldn't trust Kentucky Fried Chicken, but I even think, you know, some of these restaurants, they could even be buying the cheap frying oil, and I even think they probably lace that shit with like oil, you know, petroleum oil, because, you know, if you just put a little bit, like 1 cup of oil, you know, and I'm talking like motor oil. If you put 1 cup in like, you know, I don't know, 50 gallons, you know what I'm saying, you're not gonna notice. Well, I noticed because my boss bought some Kentucky Fried Chicken instead of pizza around tax day, and that shit was like freaking nasty. And I could have swore I tasted like a slight petroleum taste in that fucking oil that they fried the chicken in. And believe you me, I have highly sense of smell and taste. Yeah, so I definitely don't trust that nasty ass shit. Any kind of fried shit from any restaurant, that's for sure. I mean, and they supposedly they I mean, you know, they're buying the cheapest shit, and some of that shit is like recycled and stuff. Once it becomes dark, it's rancid anyway, I think, but once it becomes black and darkish, dark brown, but they recycle it somehow. And I mean, you know, the government's, you know, somehow I don't know how it works exactly, but yeah, you know, they're lacing that shit with like motor oil. Some of the frying oils, no doubt. I mean, they lace everything. They put fluoride, powdered fluoride in breads and shit. So anyway, you just got to eat on and pray on. That's what my work leader said back 12 years ago when I lived in Kansas City. But yeah, so yeah, beware of the tomatoes at Aldi's. And like I said, I actually smelled the tomatoes and like, and I could actually smell the petroleum, the oil that they're spraying on the tomatoes to make them look all beautiful, wet, and shiny. But yeah, I know they do put wax, and the wax doesn't smell. But wax is also made from petroleum. Some of it is, anyway. But, so yeah, this topsoil is some nasty shit. But the reason why I decided to, go ahead and do a video was because yesterday I went, oh, and actually Big K, I noticed when I drove along Big K, you know, about a year ago, they had it out in front of the store. I can't believe that place is still in business, but Big K was selling it, Timberline topsoil. And, I didn't know Lowe's was selling it at the time, but I knew Home Depot was because that's where I bought it. And Big K was selling it, and also Lowe's sells it. I don't think Walmart sells it, but you may be able to get it like online, but I don't think they sell it in the store. But Big K had it, Lowe's had it. Yeah, I mean, Home Depot had it, and that's where I bought it a year ago. But yesterday I went to Lowe's to buy some cypress mulch, and Lowe's was also selling it. And I saw this Mexican couple, this Hispanic couple, and they looked I mean, they weren't, we don't have a lot of illegals here. They were like, you can tell they were legal, probably been here a long time. But yeah, and they looked, you know, like they were, you know, like middle class couple or whatever. They were nice looking or whatever. And I didn't notice right off the bat that they had Timberline topsoil in their cart. Well, I walked past them and I went to get my cypress mulch, and then I came back around and was going to check out, and then I saw them again and they freaking had Timberline topsoil. I can't remember if they had 1 bag or 2 bags in there, but they had Timberline topsoil. So I went up to them and I said, hey, did you know that stuff is like laced with like some kind of petroleum, gasoline crap? Because I told them I bought it. I don't think I said I bought it a year ago, but it was exactly a year ago when I bought it. I said I bought it before. Come to think of it, it was about a year ago exactly, or a tad bit longer, because I got my turtles like a week into June, and then it was not long after that. That's when I bought this Timberline topsoil. And I told him, and the woman looked at me, the Hispanic woman looked at me, and she's like, do you think it just could have been a bad batch or something? And I was like, yeah, that's possible. That's possible. But the husband, I guess the husband totally was like, maybe I should believe her, you know? And I noticed I was standing about 10 feet from them at that time. Well, maybe not 10 feet, I don't know, maybe 7 feet. And I noticed he went ahead and he went to the bag. And I think he put a little hole in the bag so he could smell it. And because I smelled it. Yeah, and he's like, oh my God, it does. He's like, yeah, it does smell like that, like gasoline, petroleum. And yeah, like I say, I think he put it with his fingernail, a slight little hole, and I could smell it, and I was standing 7-10 feet away. And I could even smell it, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I don't want to be anywhere near that nasty shit. And so, yeah, they believe me, and I know that they took it back. I'm pretty sure because they were ready to check out too. And I didn't see them I didn't see them again after I checked out and everything. I'm pretty sure they went and took it back and decided to buy something else. I said that at Walmart I bought, I told them, my mom said, well, you should buy something that says, planting soil. I forgot what it's called. Not topsoil, but she said you should buy something that says planting soil or something like that. I forgot the terminology. And I told them, I bought like a small bag of some kind of soil that said planting soil, at Walmart. And I smelled it and everything. I told them I smelled it. And I told them, it just smelled like dirt. But I don't trust anything. I don't know if all topsoil is kind of like comes from toxic places. Well, maybe that's why it comes from, maybe that's why they make it like that, because they think you're just going to fill up holes and shit with it in the yard. But I thought maybe it was meant for like on the top of your garden or something. I don't know. But yeah, but when you buy the stuff that says, when you use it, no, potting soil, that's what it is. Yeah, when you buy stuff that says potting soil, that's for plants or gardens, I guess, or whatever. That just smelled like dirt, like what it's supposed to smell like. But I've never smelled any other topsoil other than this, so I don't know if all topsoil is like that. I don't know. I'm not going to buy any more brands of topsoil and find out. But this shit is nasty and it's rancid. And I thought there was something else I was going to say. I mentioned the tomatoes, I mentioned the topsoil, and I thought there was something else I was going to say. Oh, yeah, maybe it was about the chicken. How I think, these restaurants, they're buying the cheapest freaking oil. Frying oil. So yeah, I mean, because, it's called soft kill. The Illuminati, Archon, aliens, they're trying to soft kill everybody. Most of the humans don't even know what's going on. They're just all mind control. Aliens are just, mind controlling them to poison, the human race. But yeah. So yeah, they're putting if they're putting all this other shit and crap, they're putting motor oil and frying oil that they serve to restaurants and shit. The restaurants are only going to buy the cheapest of the cheapest line of frying oil. And like I say, the reason why I mentioned that was because for the first time in in millions of years, I ate a little bit of Kentucky Fried Chicken, not much because it tastes like fucking ass. And like I say, I could have swore I tasted, like I say, I have highly sensitive taste buds and nose, and I could have swore I tasted a slight petroleum taste in that oil, the frying oil. See, I'd be aware of that nasty shit too. I've been eating pretty healthy lately, and yeah, I've been losing a lot of weight. I haven't been eating sugar and shit, but yeah, I definitely wouldn't eat too much like Taco Bell. Taco Bell's not bad, but you know it can't be healthy. Taco Bell and Kentucky Fried Chicken and all that, or McDonald's. I eat McDonald's sometimes, but not very often. But anyway, yeah. So like I say, I know if you look on the bag, this comes from Atlanta, Georgia, and they make it from byproducts. So that right there is telling you it's coming from poisonous sources. Yeah, because like I say, I think when you see the word byproduct, I don't think that is a good terminology. And like I said, it said that the Timberline topsoil was made from byproducts of blah, 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 blah. And I forgot what it said. That's what I just did, research tonight or whatever. But yeah. So yeah, go buy you some and sniff it for about 20 minutes and see if you don't get sick. Okay, well, thanks for listening.